All right. Well, we got quite the program tonight on schedule. We got a bunch of gallery already coming in. That old boy down there on Wild Wash, he's out there in Tucson. He's got something he actually can show that's pretty much 99% complete. And I've made the announcements last week. I've made them on the Facebook page. But we got stickers.
Stickers, all right.
You know, y'all wanted stickers. We got stickers.
Oh, you got colored stickers.
Yeah, they look just like the patches. You
All
already got some in
right.
the mail. You already got some in the mail come to you, Dewey.
Yeah, I should have it today. I didn't check the mailbox, but they should be out there.
But you know, the first two batches, everyone's purchased has already been envelopes already been addressed and stuffed and put out in the mail. And I've got five new ones from today, and I'm sure we'll have some more later tonight. And I'll get those processed. And we still got our patches. We still got our books on Amazon, Volume One, Volume Two. If you didn't check out the newsletter, it's on the Facebook page. It's on the web page. Um, and if you want to have your art featured in it, all you got to do is send us an email, editor@worldwidewoodturners.org. I'll drop the email address in here later on here. Look at this. Look at this guy right here. Look at this. Look at that. That's one of them. That's one of them patches. That's one of them patches.
Is that all?
Last
Is that
meeting,
all?
JJ said he didn't want any more pictures.
Is that all with Velcro? Because I don't have any hair to bend it to.
Right, right. And then so yeah, so with that, let's go ahead and let's get things kicked off here for gallery. We'll do gallery for about 45 minutes to an hour, and we'll do some safety, and then we'll do a demo, and we got a hell of a night tonight for our demo. Scott's going to be doing some really cool stuff for us, so let's hang tight. Matt, take us away with some gallery.
All right, first up tonight is Dale. Hey, Dale, what you got?
Hey, I finally got made
Oh no!
shop this week.
Look at that.
It's an egg on a little pedestal.
Very nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just call it, Dale.
That's
Oh, I like
nice.
Love
Yeah.
the color.
Yeah,
Nice
That's-
shape too.
that's Alumilite, amazing clear cast with eye candy pigments.
It's nice. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. That luminite. That's good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I don't have a pressure pot, so that's why I use the amazing clear cast because it's got a long open time so the bubbles can get out of it.
Yep, it does.
And the
Yeah.
stand is box elder. I'll get my fingers out of the way so you can see the box elder.
Very pretty. Nice.
Very cool.
I
Nice job,
need to-
Dale.
I need to get some of those rubber chuckies though, so I have an easier time doing the egg and not putting.
Yep, it's got 1,001 uses.
Yeah,
Make
but that's
wooden
all I
chucks.
got to show today. That's all I've gotten done recently.
It's real
I
pretty.
can't spend, with my knee. I can't spend a lot of time at one time in the shop right now.
Looks good,
All
Dale.
right.
Thanks for sharing.
Well, thanks, Dale.
You're
Next
welcome.
up is Dewey. Hey, Dewey.
Oh, hey, I turned a little whoops little plate here out of some cherry, and I really like the figure right in here or over here.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I like
made
the
it-
bottom there.
The
I made it thin,
wow.
Yeah.
and then I
Oh, there you go.
did that to it. So
Wow.
That's incredible.
Pretty piece.
Hey,
How'd you do that?
it's all laser engraved. This and this background, I painted it with a airbrush. Everything else
That
is
looks
hand
great.
painted.
Wow.
Everything else is hand painted.
Yeah.
It looks
It's got,
I like
awesome.
I like your edge and your white edge around there.
this is This is
Yeah.
actually part of the Marine Corps logo. It's and the actual logo is yellow, but I didn't like yellow rope, so I switched to nylon rope, and it's white. It's white rope. So anyway, but the thing
Very
about
nice.
it is it's got a satin finish on it, and I really like that satin finish. It looks really, really nice. So, but anyway, that's my contribution tonight.
Very
Beautiful.
good.
All right, well,
Very
thanks,
good.
Dewey.
Nice, Dewey.
Really pretty, dude. Really pretty.
Fantastic.
Just a public service announcement, folks. If you've got TV or radio going in the background, please turn it off. We don't need to hear that going over somebody else's talking. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
That was a good demo last week too, dude.
Hey, Pat, you're up next.
Patrick.
Okay. I did my first bowl from a board.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, there you go. You did nice too.
Beautiful.
Put a little hood on it out of black walnut.
Did nice work on the seam for sure.
Nice.
That was the first one I ever tried. It turned out okay. And
Hey, Pat, how thick was the wood that you started with? Oh, yeah, when you were making your cuts, how was it? Inch and a quarter, inch and a half?
inch and a quarter, something like that.
Okay, all right.
These I call one with and one without.
One with and one without.
Like it.
I like it.
Oh,
I
sycamore.
love it. That's great.
Beautiful.
Some great ideas.
I really like that.
And this
Oh,
piece of dog.
Nice.
Wow. That's a
Wow.
good looking piece
Piece
of
of dog-
dogwood.
Yeah,
Woof.
that's a beauty. Yeah,
Boy,
that's
it's got
beautiful.
some beautiful grain in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, it is.
it didn't
Pretty
crack.
piece. You were able
Looks
to keep,
like in
keep
here,
the bark on all the way around?
No, the bark came off. I scorched it with a torch.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Really pretty.
And last but not least, turned an urn.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
Texture.
What wood?
Elm?
Beautiful.
Is that elm?
I
No,
like the finish. Finish is something.
Yeah, but
Really, really.
what wood is it, Pat?
hair.
Hair. Okay.
Yeah. And the finish is tongue oil finish.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, well done.
Love the embezzlement.
That's a nice job.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, the
Hope you don't have-
texturing is
Is that for a certain
Spot on.
person?
No. My wife asked me, was I going to stuff her in it? I told her I hope not, no time soon.
right.
And the top is threaded.
All right.
Not while she's still making you cheesy biscuits.
That's right.
Nice.
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 How'd you do the threading there, Patrick?
With the chefware kits, threading
Ah.
feet.
Yep.
And this part actually moved a little bit after I got it threaded and got real tight. So I had to remount it and do a little rethread. But now
Okay.
it works perfect now.
Oh, God, that's like a store-bought.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Hey, Patrick, where do you store all these things? You make stuff 5 or 6 things a week. You got a warehouse
He built a
someplace?
shop. He's got that big shop that he art gallery that he built out back.
Yeah, and that's full. The living room's full.
Right?
I've got stuff everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
But I love making it and I don't have any intentions of quitting.
There you go.
Right.
Don't even slow down, buddy.
Wow.
Don't even
Right.
slow down.
Patrick,
Just enjoy it.
I love that
Yes.
inclusion you've got there. What is that inclusion? Where the black circle? Yes,
A knot.
Oh, wow.
it looks wonderful. I like it.
Right?
We got a great article in
Finish
the
is so
newsletter
perfect,
about,
you're gonna blind us. It shines. Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
It needs another coat on it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe 2.
Probably two.
Yeah.
It don't have enough.
We can see your
Don't
screen
have-
in it.
It don't have the dang shine to it yet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That glassy look he gets. His looks like glass.
Yeah.
It does. Beautiful.
That's just gorgeous.
How many coats did you put on it?
I think right now it's either 4 or 5.
Yeah, it looks about 4. Yeah.
How many does he
Yeah.
need, Dane?
Minimum
14,
Minimum of.
Six. Minimum 6.
Okay.
14.
No, you don't need 14 with tongue oil. Lacquer, yes.
Lacquer, a lot of pieces I put anywhere from 12 to
Yeah.
18 coats on. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys use a whole can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured this will probably get at least 2 more.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a good looking
Yeah.
piece, Pat.
Really
It
pretty.
is. It really is.
That leaves a question. Can you color tongue oil at all? Put a tint in it?
Sure you can.
Never tried it. I don't see why you couldn't.
Sure
Okay.
can.
Actual tongue oil has a long dry time.
Mike,
If that's all it is.
Dane, on tongue oil, when you want to do it as a sanding sealer, what do you use to thin it with for the polymerized tongue oil?
I use DNA.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't thin it. I just slather it on.
Well, one of the games you play with this for those who are new to finishing is you want, if you're going for shiny, you want it to look shiny, but not like somebody dipped it in plastic. So
Right.
there's a line between the two,
Mm.
and that's kind of what the sanding does. Is it takes off the plastic look and makes things look a lot smoother. So
That's true.
On the
I've,
button.
I've sanded back just about every coat that I've put on.
How long does it take to dry for coats, between coats?
This, which it's been kind of cool and not perfect drying conditions, but it'll dry in about 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
oh yeah,
Okay. What grade of sand do you use? Sandpaper do you use whenever you
800.
sand it back? 800. Okay.
Yeah. And I
Typically,
have used steel wool, the 4-aught steel wool, but I don't like the fibers it leaves behind.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to get off.
Yep.
And you don't see it until you put the next coat on, and then it sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Sure does. Yeah, I don't use steel wool.
Yeah.
yeah, for that reason. Yeah, one of the games you can play is you can start like 2 coats and then start with 220, and then next coat, then you do 320 and so on. You work up the grits till you're like at 1200 or something, and wet sanding. So there's a lot of things you can do. So
Yeah,
you
there's a
dry
lot of
sand. You
techniques.
dry sand it, Patrick.
Yes. Just take 800 and real light sand. I mean, you don't want to dig in and go through the layer that you just put on. You just want to kind of smooth it and give it a little bit of tooth.
You just do it just to get rid of the shine then?
Yes, just knock the shine off of it and make
Okay.
sure it's good and smooth, and put your next.
sometimes you can get little bumps from dust or something in it too. So the sanding
essentially
takes that
just-
off.
You're essentially denebbing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you apply it with a cloth?
Yes. A
That's what I use.
good
good
lint
cotton.
cloth.
Yep.
Yeah. The blue shop towels work good too because they don't have lint in them. Unless you're buying Harbor Freight blue towels.
Yeah.
I use old T-shirts and underwear, stuff like that. Just
Okay.
cut little squares out of it. And
Me
Yep,
too.
that's what I do. In fact, I'll pull
Very
my little
cool.
baggie out and show
Pretty
them
piece.
when I go to show mine.
Pretty piece.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Patrick.
that's all I've got.
That's
Doing
nice,
it.
Patrick.
Gosh.
Next up is Dave. Hey, Dave.
You're making me follow him.
Again?
Somebody's got to follow. Might as well be you.
Well, you might think I made a funnel,
Hmm.
but nope.
Oh, that's good.
Nice.
That's nice. Love the gray.
That grain is awesome.
Gorgeous.
I
Yeah.
found this on the
There's a-
floor of the shop, and I don't know how long it had been there. Been there at least 4 or 5 years. I was digging
Huh.
under some shelves. And
What
at
else you got
first,
on the floor?
that's coming up. And this, I think, would be cute if it was about half its size,
Mm.
an inlay on the top.
Yeah.
It's not bad like that.
No,
Yeah, it
Yeah,
just seems
I like
it seems bulky. And this I found on the floor.
Nice.
I love it. I love it. Nice work.
Never hurts getting rid of all that scrap laying around.
And then I found this on the floor.
Muffin.
It's a muffin, yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
Where's the muffin?
Oh, that's
for?
nice,
You
nice
ate it?
figure.
You already ate it?
Not clean.
And this was a piece that was about this high, and I cut it this way. And so it,
Next
Yeah.
time somebody asks me, "Do you know the Muffin Man?" I can say, "Yeah, well, I certainly do."
well, I saw a guy on YouTube make one. He had a much prettier piece of wood, but
I think that looks great.
it was fun. Yeah. I'm pretty proud of it. I like it. But other than that, I didn't get anything done this week.
Oh, my goodness.
Blacker.
It's been a fun week. School vacation, and Daddy had a few days off, so he watched the little guy.
Oh,
So,
good.
Would like
I
I would
got
like
time to
a
use
closer look. I would like a closer look at that vase that's just over your left shoulder, behind you.
this one.
Yeah,
Oh, I showed that a while ago. Yeah.
I don't remember
Pretty.
that one. That's pretty. I love the
Thank you.
form.
Is that cherry?
Yes.
Really nice.
Yes, it's cherry.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing several vases lately, and they're fun. And at the art store that I take things to, she's always saying, "Well, is this food safe?" With a vase, I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Or,
True, yeah.
or this muffin, I hope she doesn't want that to be food safe.
Yeah. Right. Very cool.
Yeah,
Thanks, Dave.
thanks everybody. Have a great night.
She's gonna put a
All right,
muffin
thanks,
in it.
Dave. Next up is Dane. Hey, Dane.
Oh, hey, it's me.
Hey.
All right. So last week showed I was working on the pedestal, and Patrick and the boys, everybody else convinced me to put some gold ink in. So just did a little dry brushing with the gold ink while it was still on the lathe,
I like it.
and filled that in.
Yeah,
So it came out pretty good. You really can't see
Yeah.
the
Shiny.
details.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple more coats of oil I need to put on this as well.
Really? Wow.
Let's see. See the light? Yeah, you can
Oh,
see
yeah.
it.
Yeah, you can see it.
Oh, there we go.
Beautiful.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah. So eucalyptus, about 15 inches in diameter. Oh, and then I put the turquoise in the center.
Is that a BLO on
I
it?
like that.
Huh?
Is it BLO finish?
No, it's just tongue oil.
Tongue oil? Okay.
Yeah.
How many coats you got?
This has got 5 coats on it.
Wow.
I'm gonna catch up with you.
Yep. Well, I've got I still got to get to where I parted this off. It's a piece of holly. But I'll be darned, that die. I mean, it sunk all the way to, I excavated, hollowed, it's concave now pretty good, but it's good 1/4 inch deep. And that black dye was still streaked down in the wood, so I just went ahead and put some blow on there, blow linseed oil, put my RIT dye on there and sanded that all in. And so when we were talking about earlier, if you can add dye to your oils, you absolutely can. So yeah, so that's that.
It's nice, Dan.
And then here is when we were talking about, what we put it on with. So I use, my old cotton T-shirts that I no longer wear. And I just cut them up into little squares, keep them in a baggie. That way they're always dust free. Use one. Go throw it in the chimney when I'm done. Take care of the fire hazard. And then for me, after a coat, so after the first 2 coats, I will wet sand at 800 grit. And then once that oil starts building up a finish, I deneb with wet sanding with 2000 black paper. And just spray it down, and all you're doing is just barely scuffing it up. You can't even see any lines from it. And then if there's any dust particles, it'll take that off. And for me, I really don't get any dust particles except for when I'm putting the finish on in here, because once I put the oil on, and from there I take it out to my truck, set it in the dash, and hour and 15 minutes later, bring it back in, let it get back to room temperature, and do another coat. So now I'm in the weather to where I can do easily 6 coats in one day if I'm diligent about getting the piece totally finished in one day.
Baked on finish.
Yeah, baked in the Arizona sun for sure.
Treat it like an autoclave. When you're curing missile canisters. You got your compounder, your epoxy, going into the cylinder. It goes into to pressurized, and it's heated. It's not pressurized, but it's heated from the sun, and you're shielded from any dust and particulates. So that's what I do. That's how I cure my stuff. So yeah, that's me.
Thank you, Dane.
Very nice.
Next up is Roger Wallum. Hey, Roger.
Howdy. Okay, this is another cedar bowl, and as you can see, yes, it made a funnel. But I was playing with my laser pecker, so I thought I would cover part of it.
Laser pecker. All right. Look at that.
Nice, Roger.
What's that?
It's nice. It looks good.
Looks good.
Yeah. Nice.
Roger, what you can do, you can make I don't know if you can you make a circle? If you can make a circle, you can hide that seam,
Oh,
like that?
He made his own patch.
Yeah, that is good.
It took 2 hours and 20 minutes to burn that.
I believe
it. How long?
Nice. 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh,
I believe it. Okay, this is what I'm working on next.
Oh, yeah.
Things like this to bring to level up.
Wow. That looks great.
Beautiful.
How many rings should I be bringing?
Oh, I don't know. Probably
All
at
of
least
them?
five of each style you make, huh? You're going to make what? 10 styles? That'd be 50 rings.
I've already got 3
I'm just
styles
teasing.
ready.
I'm just teasing.
That'll be the 4th one.
Yeah. Well, I guess that was a pretty good guess then.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
You're getting pretty good at this.
They're time consuming.
Yes, they are. But the detail is there. Everybody appreciates it too, Roger.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, a lot of these are things that I haven't made before. Like I've never done this Indian blanket before, and I never done the rising sun before.
So you having
It looks
fun?
like you've been doing them forever. It's like falling off the log for you.
All right. Well, thank you, Roger. Next up is Jeff. Hey, Jeff.
Hello there.
Got you drinking.
Pump me.
So I'm happy to report I'm not showing a pen tonight for a change. I've
Yay.
been talking about
Aw.
I've been talking about for some time now that I'm working on a segmented project, and it's actually the project I started last year from plans that the Papa 1947 sent me, and it failed, and I recovered from it. But this is the finished project.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Very
Uh-huh.
nice. Very
Came out
nice.
Nice.
Cherry
Yeah.
and walnut, 270 combined segments and spacers. And the
Beautiful.
bottom's a little narrower than the Papa's because the plans called for me to put on a 4-inch disc. And I don't know why, but I put on a 3.5-inch disc. So, but I ended up liking the shape.
There you
It
go.
was fun.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
good.
looks
Looks
good.
good, Jeff.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like the
I
first
like
one.
it,
pretty.
Jeff.
So it was a lot of
That's
fun.
Look at the
Pretty detailed.
when you look at the
Very
golden
pretty.
mane, the base matches the
Yeah.
the top. So you nailed it
Yeah.
there.
And
with
this is all my segments. This is my favorite view.
yeah,
I just love
pretty.
looking
Yeah.
down the center of them.
Yeah.
No.
Great.
Gorgeous.
It is, really
Yeah.
is.
Beautiful, Jeff.
Very,
This
very
is,
nice work, Jeff.
Thanks to Gary, the Papa 1947, for sending me the plans. I sent him pictures of this a couple days ago, and he finally responded. Said he really liked it.
I tell you what,
Uh,
when I grow up,
Cool.
I want to be able to segment like Jeff, Roger, and Ray.
You know,
What about me?
it's not rocket
And
science.
Billy,
It's
and Billy, and everybody
yeah,
else.
it's not
that does
rocket science.
segmenting.
It's just patience. As Roger says, it takes a lot of time. The nice thing
Yeah.
with segmenting is for somebody like me who can't get in the shop for hours on end anymore. You know, I can go down for half an hour and get a lot done. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool.
so
Beautiful
that's
work,
it. And I've
Jeff.
already sent the picture over to JJ.
Oh, good.
Great.
That's it.
All
We're
right.
probably back to pens for a while.
That's okay. Thanks, Jeff.
That's okay. Thanks. You're welcome. Thank you.
Next up is Al.
At the beginning, was there any problems with the audio and stuff? Because it was
Yes.
going out on me a few times, was it?
Yeah.
But
I bought a new tablet today too, and I was trying to play with it. It kept popping off, and so I just put it aside. So I'm back on my phone again. I've been playing around in the shop a lot, but not much. I had a grandson here most of the week. This week they were off for spring break, and I spent some time. I finally got around to send JJ some pictures. I owe him probably maybe 100 more. But I've been going through some old things that I haven't seen in a while. They were back behind a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of new people here, and I've shown this before. But I'm going to show it again this evening. This is a little grandpap and
Oh,
grandson.
cool.
Oh,
That's
Oh, I
cool.
love that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like it too. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I haven't seen it, Al.
Haven't seen it,
Yeah.
Al.
Very cool, Al.
Just goofing
Yeah.
around. Goof around.
Looks cool.
No,
great, Al.
we're working on going to the moon. I believe this is probably what we used to go to the moon the first time. It's another fun my little spaceship.
Mhm.
Al, you got an imagination that's just out of this world.
No, I
Artemis
keep
has got
stealing
some
from people.
competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It cracked. Look, the front of it's cracked, but
Well, that's okay.
That's just the air
Space will
intake
do
for the
that.
engines,
Yeah.
man.
yeah, there's we were going to town when we went to the moon the first time.
Yeah.
Well, Houston had a problem.
Yep. That split in the front is just for aerodynamics, right?
Aerodynamics. I wasn't sure how I was going to explain that.
Okay.
But anyway, like I said, I've been going through a lot of things that I found a ton of pictures. And JJ, are you on? Did you get them? Because I hope I did the right thing and sent it to you. But anyway, this is what I've got for this evening, and every so far so beautiful. Really nice to be here. So everybody be good.
You too, Al.
Good.
You too. Thanks.
Take care, Al.
Well, no, I'll be
Everybody
careful.
Thanks, Al.
Yes, guys.
Nice
Have
job,
fun.
Al.
Next up is James.
Hello. I actually
Okay.
wanted
James.
I said I've been asked to do the demo next week, and I wanted to show what I'm going to be making next week, and that's this little guy right here, and it's
Oh,
a
nice.
full string top, and all the fun stuff that that goes along with making said insanity, and that's the one thing. And then I know I haven't shown this here, This is what you get when someone gives an ugly piece of wood at the guild raffle. It's a little bitty. Someone gave this away at the guild raffle,
Crazy.
and I turned this gorgeous little bowl from one of my
That's
favorite. Yeah,
That's
so
very
like,
I
just a little
haven't turned
Mahoney's.
mine yet. That's next on the list.
Yeah, well, this
Nice
one I
job.
did. This is probably 2-3 years old now, but it was just one of those things when everybody shows, when you look at it, something it just looks like some rotted old chunky piece of wood. It didn't look like much, but I mean, there's some burl in here. It's got some it's got some beautiful figure in it.
Yeah.
And
does.
I was just like, yeah, I'm like, why did y'all give that away?
They probably didn't realize or didn't give it a
Didn't
close
know
look.
what it was, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the way it is. But yeah, since they were talking about weird wood, you looked at just something you just found on the floor. That was something fun someone just gave up.
Yeah. That's a nice piece.
So that's all I got to show tonight. I just was showing what I'm. So if you want to come see how this crazy thing's made, come next week.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it, James. Thanks.
No
Me
problem.
too.
Looks like fun. And next up is Bob. Hey, Bob.
Let me get that mute off here. Yeah. Hey guys.
Hey, Bob.
How y'all doing tonight? I always wanted to do one of
Good.
these. This is Jim's Duxbury's running balls.
Oh,
Oh
nice.
wow.
Oh, yeah.
And that was fun to do, turning all the balls. They're easy to turn, round balls. I followed, who was it, Alan Stratton's deal, but anyway, it turned out real good. But I was talking to Jim, and this won't run but about 6 seconds. And I was talking to Jim, and he said his balls are a whole lot bigger, heavier. Mine are pretty light, so that might be why it doesn't run long enough. But
Maybe.
anyway, he said he used 4-inch balls instead. These are 2, so they're twice as big as this, probably be twice as heavy. But anyway, if you ever want to do these are fun to do, and he says he can get 15 seconds out of his.
We'll just have to make another set.
What do you use for a finish, Bob?
It's Parfex, and I buff them out with that, put that bowling alley wax on them.
That's what I was just gonna ask you. I think Jim uses some kind of wax on his, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He showed it that time.
I think he's up tonight. I wanted him to talk about his and show his. He actually has a motorized version of this.
Yes, he does.
That works.
Bob, now I can see what you're doing. I know one of the problems is your race is too high.
Right here is too.
Yeah, your race is too high. It's got to be at the tangent point of the balls.
Oh, okay.
It's way down. You're a 3/4 of an inch high, I think.
Yeah.
When what it looks here.
So you just want it to touch right at the rim and then the bottom, right?
Right at the edge, right at the tangent point of that ball when it's
right.
In fact,
below center, below
Where
center.
that angle goes from here to there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's rubbing too high on there and it's slowing it down.
It might be putting too much on there. I'll have to make a new race and see if that doesn't help it.
I make it small and then I turn a little bit and try the balls each time until you get the depth and the OD exactly what you want. Yeah, that's much too deep.
See, and mine is pretty much not really flat, but almost. It does rise a little bit in the center.
No, that's okay. The bottom's all right. The side, it's a bearing race. It has to touch. It's probably a 45-degree.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It has to. It's drop, like you said, about 3/8 of an inch to do that.
Yeah.
But I can do it. I can make another race.
Sure.
Easy. And even the balls are easy to do. They're not hard to do.
Yeah, I've made dozens of them, and I don't have a spear jig or anything. I turn them by eye. I've got. Don't get up to. 6 inches way too heavy. The whole damn thing weighs a ton. I got to sit in the living room that I don't do anything with. It's too damn heavy to move.
That's a big ball.
Yeah.
I was turning 4-inch balls, and I thought that was way too big. I've done a couple of them, but anyway, I went to 2, but maybe I should have left it at 4.
Yeah.
Can you show your motorized rig?
You can do it.
No, I don't. Oh, the video. Yeah, I've got your video. Let me see if I can share my screen. Let me find that thing first here. But
should we come back to you, Bob?
Come back to me.
Okay. We're gonna go to Todd. Hey, Todd.
Hello. How's everyone? So I have 3 little bowls here. I've got this little bowl of maple. Had a little bit of it was an ambrosia a little bit there with a knot in the side of it. I put a little CAN, and then this is just beeswax finish, and I think I made that a couple weeks ago. Nice little bowl for
No
M&Ms
color?
or something. No color, right? What's a yeah?
Wrong with you, Todd?
That might be a theme tonight. If it wasn't for this one that has some color on it.
Oh, wow.
And so I got some figured maple here, and that's the 3 colors there. That's the flame, the ruby, and the burnt orange or whatever from the intrinsics of
Very nice.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Everything in your room.
Could see your screen. Could see your screen in that finish.
See everything in the room. See that lamp?
There's that email you guys are wanting to read right there. Yeah.
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 Dang.
And did you use your laser pecker on the bottom there?
As a matter of fact, I did. There it is. I had that on the other one too, right there. So
yeah.
Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming. Just like in cars.
Hey, Dane, I didn't bring it up.
No, you didn't.
Me.
Not this time.
How'd you get it so shiny?
That's lacquer. That's probably like six coats of lacquer. Put like the first 4 coats on, and then sanded a little bit. Put a coat on, sanded with 800, and then put a final coat on, and probably just used like the Yorkshire Grip Microfine over it, and then buffed it a little bit. So
yeah, buffing is a good way to finish these things too, to get them shiny.
Yeah. And so it helped it quite a bit. The inside there, that has a little, maybe 1 coat of the citrus burnishing oil on it, and then no wax or anything on the inside of it.
That's very nice.
And then the last one, I have a piece of birch. I never turn birch, but I've got this birch.
That's pretty.
And it's a little bigger.
Very
no
nice.
color on it
Love
either.
the shape.
And so, and it's pretty thin. It starts out at about 1/8, but I wasn't real comfortable with going around the corner on that. So it's about 3/16 everywhere across it. And then I went a little deeper with the foot than I so often I have these just tiny little feet. This one, it's just like barely there, but I've been trying to do some bigger feet on the bowls lately, and then really trying to match the curve of the outside going into the curve of what's inside the feet better than I've done in the past.
Mm.
So I've been focusing on that type of stuff a little bit with it, and then
good.
Nice shape on that,
Todd. Nice
beautiful piece, Todd. I love the shape,
Really?
and I love the foot. I love the foot.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So
agreed.
This might be just like the second piece of birch I've ever turned. That's just the burnishing oil on the inside again. There, no wax or anything yet. I'll probably put a little wax on it later.
Very cool. Nice work, Todd.
That's it for me.
All right, we're gonna go back to
appreciate it.
Bob. Bob, to see if you found the video. Hey, Bob.
Yeah, I found it. Let me see if I can't share it now.
Sorry, Bob. I thought you had it queued up.
Can y'all see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, and let me play it
Yellow
here.
hard balls with a cherry stripe in the middle. The plug on the end is wingy with a maple stripe in the middle of the head. I've made many sets that are manual and they work great. Kind of fun to watch. Go either way.
Yeah.
And mesmerizing.
Mesmerizing.
I see where you have the rim at with the balls. Yeah. Yep.
You haven't made a motorized set.
Wow.
The race is the Sycamore race. The turntable is maple, driven by a motor. It goes 50 RPM, and it's 18 volts. If you notice, when it starts out, it goes backwards. It goes counterclockwise.
I see that. That's pretty wild.
Weight of a ball pressing down on the turntable going clockwise makes the whole mass go clockwise until it starts to spin a little bit, and then the tangent point on the outside catches up and overtakes the other pressure to make it go the other way around.
Fascinating.
You see the tangent, it's probably only 30 degrees off the bottom. I've said 45.
Yeah, I see that.
Maple table. Turn it off. You can see
Oh, yeah.
I made a square aluminum block to fit on the shaft. There's a little motor, 18-volt motor, and a gearbox.
Oh,
Very nice.
That's cool, Jim. The mad scientist.
Yeah.
He's mad.
Yeah. I tell you, my lands.
Yeah. Slippery tape.
Great imagination.
To give it a little.
Wow.
Very nice.
Friction.
Jim, you're very inspiring, I'll tell you.
Yeah, those are big balls. Boy, those are your 4-inch ones, right?
They're yellow heart too. They're pretty heavy.
Yeah, pretty heavy.
And it can run all day this way.
Yes, it can. So now we know what Jim does for his meditation.
Yeah.
You can probably get some balls from the Goodwill on an old croquet set.
Yeah.
Watch it.
All right. Well, thank you,
Cool.
Bob, and thank you, Jim.
Very nice.
Sure, guys.
Next, we're gonna go next to our youngest member, Blaine. Hey, Blaine.
Here he is.
Blaine,
Hello, everybody.
how you doing tonight, buddy?
Good. How you doing?
Good, good. I started a segmenting one.
Nice.
that's pretty.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah.
Done nice.
Wow.
Boy,
Lovely.
They take a really long time. I don't know how many more of them I'm going to do, but got a nice live edge.
Nice.
Well done.
That's
Nice.
very nice.
Beautiful.
Cherry,
Karen,
nice bottom.
yeah, nice bottom.
Great
I
job.
had this.
I
I
love
cut up a bunch of walnut the other day, and then I found this one. I can't really see it, but
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
wow.
There
Oh,
it
look
is.
at that grain.
That's gorgeous.
then I was playing with some decorative lines, and then I figured out my vacuum chucking, so now I can finish off my bottom nice. So,
Cool.
Cool.
Very nice. Very
And
nice,
then-
Blaine. Vacuum chucking rules.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. It works really good. Then I got this nice goblet, one of my second ones, because I don't like turning dry wood. It's all green turned.
Cool.
And then
Wow.
Well
some of my
protected,
bigger
Matt.
ones. There's this nice
my.
platter.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Wow.
Pretty.
Nice.
I think it's 11 inches. That one I got to do a little bit more sanding on the foot, but then here I got this
Oh,
crotch
beautiful.
oak chunk.
Wow.
That's pretty.
You cut that perfect.
turning,
Blaine? Pull it back a
And
little bit.
I got a bunch of oak from some friends down the road, and then I turned this half, and then the other half I gave back to them, and I got about 4 or 5 pieces out of that one chunk. And then I
Cool.
also got
Good
sand a
looking
little
piece of
bit
wood.
more. But
How,
then I
how
have
have
some
you been
bark in here still, which gave it a nice texture.
Yeah, it
What
does.
kind of? Do you know what kind of oak that is?
No, not really. I think it's red oak, but
Okay. because it looks more like honey locust. Maybe
No,
I'm
it's
wrong.
oak.
I don't know. Okay,
It's
all right.
oak.
Well, you know better than I do. That's
Pretty,
for sure.
whatever it
Nice.
is.
But yeah, that's all
Yeah.
I got for today. But
Good.
thank you.
More than I got third.
Blaine,
Fantastic
you were
work,
asked
Blaine.
how long you've been.
Blaine.
Blaine, you were asked how long you've been turning.
About 2 years now.
Nice.
Outstanding job, man.
What kind of leg?
Definitely outstanding.
I have a Grizzly 24-inch swing by 48 inches
Oh man, a
in
big
between
one.
centers. So
Yeah.
Is that the 766?
832.
no, it's the G0 800 one.
800.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Good lathe.
Good lathe.
Good lathe.
Good lathe.
Yeah, it's really
Nice.
nice.
And folks, if you're coming to Level Up, you'll be able to see Blaine up at Level Up also.
Good.
Oh, excellent.
Cool.
So,
Look forward to
Shake
it.
your hand.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice work, Blaine. Very nice.
Thank you.
Nicely done, bud. Yes, nicely done.
Okay, next
All
we're
right,
going to
very
go to Roger the Angry. Hey, Roger.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Raj.
I got two
Stay
pieces
out,
this
huh?
week. One was probably about 2 months ago. I finished it up and got an urn with a stand.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Wow.
Done.
I
Very
turned
nice.
and stuff on the stand and made the legs on there. It's out of maple and black walnut.
Great job. That's a good looking
Really
finial.
nice.
Yeah.
That
Gorgeous.
was really pretty.
And then
Really
the top
pretty.
is threaded, but it's out of plumbing pipes. So it's actually this one here is actually threaded backwards. It
Yeah,
has a
it looks
reverse.
Nice.
That'll confuse everybody.
Is that a green wood or is that?
No, it's maple.
I know, but I mean, how green it? How wet is it? How long has it been
Oh,
cut?
I turned it and then I let it dry for about a year and a half.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
That shape is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
looks,
What about your
Very
stand?
nice.
What about your stand? How'd you make your stand?
I turned the center ring, and then I just had to I cut and finish these pieces here and on the sides there, and they're screwed in.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Beautiful.
That is nice. Real
get
nice.
it just right.
Would you have one piece that you made and then you cut three out of that piece?
Yeah, 3 identical. I just used one as a pattern and made 3 identical pieces. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very nice, Roger. Well done.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
I finished up this. I made another one, and I was looking for opinions on this, on the stand on this one.
I like it.
Oh,
Yep. It goes with the piece. It goes with it. Yep.
I like the stand. The square base seems a little large, but I like the idea. It's very nicely done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not in love with this stand, but it's got some spalted oak and black walnut.
How about,
I love the spalted oak stand.
Can you rip the pieces in half? If it was,
Oh, you mean thinner?
yeah. If it was a little more delicate, then because right now it's taken away. I
It's a
mean,
bit chunky.
It's a beautiful wood,
Yeah.
but it's hiding your turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was. After I got it all put together, I was thinking it's just a little too much.
Yeah.
It would make the stand
Yeah,
round.
I'm
3/16.
I would go with tapering your pillars. The height is fine on them. They're just a little chunky on the way up. If you could thin them out towards the tip, then maybe I would thin the base a little bit. It looks just a little bit too chunky. The art itself looks fantastic. That is gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's absolutely stunning.
I said I can always make something different as far as the stand for it.
Yeah.
Seen something, they'll affix them to a side like this, and they'll have the stand on the side. But I didn't really want to drill any.
Right.
Yeah. Carl
Yeah, great
Jacobson has
job
done
on
a
that.
bunch of those.
Yeah.
Carl
Roger,
Jacobson.
why are you angry?
Carl,
Just about anything.
Anything and everything.
That's days that end with a Y make me angry, and
You don't look angry.
no, I'm not.
Days that end in work always made me mad.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, this is just.
Roger, you could always make another one.
So it'd be more of a pet urn or a keepsake type urn.
It's pretty.
For all these plumbing fittings, this is like a sink drain. I just cut it down. It's got brass on this side, and
That's nice.
Cool.
But
Yeah.
some of the other ones that you gotta go out and buy.
Nicely done, Roger.
Hey, Roger, you can always make another one and incorporate all those ideas into the new one and send that one to me.
Just don't put a garbage disposal on the bottom of it.
I love it.
Or in the sink.
Over, make it more simple.
There you go.
Yeah, lampstand. Okay.
Huh?
That's all I had this week.
Oh,
Thank you, Roger. That's wonderful work.
Great work, Roger.
Thank you.
Next up is Mark Soleil. Hey, Mark.
How are you doing?
Eating crackers right now.
Mark.
Okay, let me turn my camera around. There we go.
There you go.
Getting
I already
pretty,
showered.
getting pretty good at that.
There's
Look
some
at those.
there's some of those little doozy whoppers.
Wow.
Doozy whoppers.
Those are some fine looking doozy whoppers.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Right? Man.
And then this way we've got some pet urns.
Bigger doozy whoppers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's Texas ebony. That's ambrosia maple. And they're all threaded.
Beautiful.
So that's just a piece of maple. That's a little bird's eye maple burl. And
Oh, wow.
that's a piece of maple also.
Absolutely amazing.
And that's some spalted maple.
That's
Oh, wow.
gorgeous.
Love the shape. It looks wonderful.
But I finished
Oh,
up,
wow.
I got these finished up over Easter vacation here. So
Very nice.
And they're all finished with the, let me turn my camera around again. They're all finished with a one coat of Parfix 3408, and they're buffed with Vonex, and the Gaboon ebony and the African blackwood is all, it has no finish on it. It's just polished with EEE Ultra Shine.
Hey,
Nice.
Mark, what is this Parfix 3408 so many people use? Can you tell us about it?
Goes with the laser packer.
It's okay. 3408 is a very thin medical super glue that is odorless and has a time delay, so that the surgeons, when they're using it, right, can get the parts put together exactly correctly, right? And then they can spray some heptane base accelerator on it when they get it in place. And that way, they're not, if you use regular super glue, then the moisture in the body cavity would set it up instantly. So this delays it, and it allows a working situation. And I use the 3408 for the wood finish because it is only 5 centipoids and it soaks into all the cells. And you wipe it on and then you wipe it off. And then you, I always buff it. I always sand down to 800 random orbit before I put it on wood. And then after I coat it, then before I buff it, I sand it again with 800 random orbit just to take any dust or any spots off of it like that. And it's food safe. Of course, super glue turns into acrylic plastic, but it's an alkoxy formula rather than a straight ethyl formula. And I've been using it for 17 years, and it's just very forgiving. If you should have a lump or a bump on what you do, you don't have to respray it or anything like that. All you have to do is just sand it off with 800 random orbit and rebuff it because it's already soaked into the wood cells. So on the surface of the wood, you're really making, right, cellulose reinforced acrylic plastic, like you're making a fiberglass boat. And anybody who needs it, just call me up. You can go and there's a video on YouTube. How to, put it on and everything and wipe it off. But you'll never, once you start using it, I mean, everything I do is just one coat. I mean, that's all you need.
Can you tell us about the buffing too with the Vonex?
The Vonex is made, it's made in Germany.
Oh.
And it's made especially for buffing acrylics, Bakelite, and animal horn. Regular, like you can buff this with white diamond, but your white diamond is especially made for polishing lacquer. And if you have a darker wood, you don't want the white diamond to go into the little pores and have little white flecks on everything. And I use the heptane-based accelerator because most of your accelerators are acetone-based, and that dissolves superglue. And people don't understand that you have, when you're spraying with accelerator, you stand back 18 inches and you just go, that's it. Because when super glue cures, right, then it polymerizes, right, and that's where your molecules bump each other, create heat, right, and then when they finally slow down, right, then it becomes acrylic plastic. And the heptane-based accelerator is what all the medical people use because that does not dissolve the super glue if you should spray too much on it.
Mark, the glue that you've been using that you're talking about, will it waterproof wood, you think?
Yes.
Yes, it will. I've used it on little cups and stuff like that.
So if I was to make a hull of a small boat, I could put that on the outside of the hull and the boat would float and not gain water there, right?
As long as you soak that in real good, right? It should, once it polymerizes, I mean, what you got is you've got plastic, cellulose reinforced plastic. Now on my food stuff, I only use the pure cold pressed walnut oil because walnut oil does polymerize, and I soak anything for food 10 or 15 times until it takes no more soaking. It starts to pool up, and then all that, the walnut oil will polymerize inside the cells. And then you can, wash it with soap and water and stuff like that, and no problem. You don't put it in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
So it will you actually soak it then, is what you're saying. You actually
on the walnut oil, yeah.
Yeah.
On the super glue, I just wipe it on with a paper towel. And then I completely wipe it off. After it soaks in, I completely wipe it off. And then all I do is buff it. There's a video on it. And if anybody wants to, they're welcome to call me. I can do a FaceTime. It doesn't cost anything for FaceTime. And I can show anybody anything. I've got a little phone stand over my lathe. And if anybody's coming this way in Atlanta, you're welcome to stop by. This weekend, Clayton Thigpen's going to be here before he goes to John C. Campbell. And if anybody wants to come, you can come and pick up a load. I'm getting rid of all the wood in my warehouse. Just come and pick up a pickup truck load of wood. Pickup truck load of wood will charge you $100. All you can put in it.
Wow.
It's all dry.
Wow.
It's bowl blanks and billets, and it's all sized. And I've only got about 2 tractor trailer loads left.
God,
many
if only you were close, Mark.
Yeah, how many loads did you start with, Mark?
What?
How many tractor loads did you start with?
Oh, probably about 7 or 8.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was stacked, almost 8 feet high in most places. That's all.
Well, very good, Mark. I appreciate you giving that description on 3408 and Parfix.
Yep. Thank you.
Had to rattle your bell on it. So.
All right.
Let's
Well,
see.
that's okay. I'm just an old man. I had another mini stroke, so I'm back in therapy. But luckily, my right arm was not affected this time. My right leg was, and but I can still turn and teach.
That's
Oh,
great. Looking
Awesome.
yeah.
good. Hi,
You're a
Sandy.
good guy, Mark.
All right.
You're a good guy.
All right. Well, we're almost at the top of the hour here. Let's go ahead and get our safety moment on with Mrs. Zoom user here.
Hey there. Didn't I?
Hey,
Oh, I
your name changed.
did that, did I? I changed the first time and then I got kicked out. So, anyways, our page at worldwidewoodturners.org has a plethora of information, and I decided I'm always looking for safety stuff, and on the safety under facts you'll see safety. It also lists Paul Hannaby's website, so I went into his website because sometimes I see things that I've probably mentioned before, but it bears noting to mention it again. And that is potential fire with dust. We all should have fire extinguishers in our shops, in your homes. And you should have a metal can, or like Dane has, he has a chimenea, to put the rags that you use for oil in, so you don't have spontaneous combustion. You can get the old-fashioned fire extinguishers, but for me they're heavy. So I have these all over the place. You can get them off Amazon. You can get them at any of the big box hardware stores like Costco and not Costco, I'm sorry, Home Depot and Lowe's. Yeah, and some of the other ones that they have. You probably could find it.
Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon, I already mentioned that. So, yeah. But for me, I have two of these cans in my kitchen, and my kitchen's behind me. So you could say that it's not a very big kitchen, but I'm not taking any chances. In my single car garage, which is got all the big machinery in for flat work, I have 3 of these. And in my sunroom where I've got my lathe and stuff, I have another 3 of these. And learn how to use them. Buy an extra one, play with it so that you know how to use it, so you don't have to stop and read the instructions. And just know that, I don't know, when you were a kid, did you guys ever have an experiment with a spark and flour? We had one in our science class, and because the teacher wanted to show us a mushroom cloud. Well, it mushroomed out and they had to evacuate the whole school. It was pretty junior high school. Well, unfortunately, wood dust would really ignite, especially if you've got something around a grinder or even just sanding. So, folks, please be careful with dust and potential fire hazards. A lot of us use little torches or sometimes use the propane torch to scorch or burn your item. Make sure all the dust is out from around that item before you do. You don't want a fire in your shop because what do we have in our shop? All the wood we haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah.
So please be careful. I don't want any burns, and I hope to see all of you next week. So take care, everybody.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Sue.
Sue.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you, Sue.
All right. So with that, top of the hour, let's get on to our featured demonstration. I think that's what the majority of people are popping in for tonight. So we got Mr. Scott Teague in. He is going to be doing our demonstration for this evening. Unless Scott wants to sequester questions and comments from everybody, we will mute everybody. Put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, Scott will call on you, and or I will recite the questions to him when he's doing tool changeovers. 9 times out of 10, he is probably going to open it up for free solicitation. So with that, Scott will take it away. I'm going to mute everybody. You'll have to unmute yourself. Muting them. And I see you.
Can you hear me?
And I can hear you.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, hopefully my earbuds don't go dead. I got some new ones today, so we'll see how they work. If Dane, if you
may have to speak up a little bit.
Questions in the chat. What's that?
I said, speak up a little bit. It is a little muffled.
Okay. If you got any questions in the chat, Dane, read them to me because I can't see the chat.
Okay, will do.
Otherwise, if you want to ask open mic questions as we're going here, this first little bit, there won't be any machines running, so I'll be able to hear you. So we're going to talk about processing wood tonight. I've seen a lot of videos lately on Instagram and other places, guys processing wood on a bandsaw, using round logs, running it through with no support on the round logs, or just holding it with their hands. Well, if you want to lose your fingers, that's a good way to do it. I'm going to show you a processing sled I built for my bandsaw. I have a big Grizzly 7-horse motor. It'll take your fingers off in a heartbeat. Won't even think about it. So we're gonna talk about how I lay out my wood for the most process out of it. I hate throwing anything in the burn pile. I have thousands of pen blanks because I just can't throw them away. Can't burn them. So we're going to talk about how to process a short log on your bandsaw so that you get the maximum amount of yield and hopefully reduce the cracking to a bare minimum. These logs that I'm starting with tonight, I got from a wood carving friend of mine. They were air dried in a shed and they were not sealed on the end. So they do have some cracking in them. So I'm going to show you how I work around the cracks to get the maximum out of each piece that I'm doing. I got one piece laid out here. They had started. The 2 pieces that are going to come out of this log eventually will go into matte goblet class. So you'll have some beautiful cherry to work with. And then we'll talk about how to get the best yield out of a gnarly looking log at the end. So I'm going to tilt my camera back down.
Okay.
Hopefully you can all see that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is how I process a log. I want to get 2 goblet
blanks, roughly 3 by 3 out of this piece, and I want to take the pith out of it. So the pith of the tree is right here. That's the very heart of the tree. And you can see that's where this crack originated. The pith dries faster than the outside. So then it wants to crack. It'll eventually split that way. Get enough out of there. It's big enough to make mascablet because it's way out on the edge, and it runs away from it towards the bottom. So what I do is I lay that out. I have a big long 24-inch ruler, combination square ruler. It's 24 inches long. I use this ruler to set how much of the pith I'm going to cut out. This ruler is roughly 1.25 inches wide, 1 1/8 inches. I'm going to cut that much of the pith out of this log. Usually use a red or a white pencil just because it's easier to see when I get over to the milling jig. And I'm just going to draw a line here. This one I'm going to leave a bowl blank in the bottom because it's really not big enough to do anything with. Take this much out of here. After I create this board, and very stable. If I want to use them for a small box or a drawer or make something else out of them. Or if you want to use them for segmenting, it'd be some really pretty pieces for that. So there's very little waste. So I'm second goblet there, and this half will be some kind of bowl at some point. Maybe a live edge bowl, whatever it is. It does have a small crack starting here, but these are now sealed. I've sealed them with Elmer's glue. Jug. Some people thin it. I usually thin the first coat 50-50, and then the second coat I put on is straight out of this jug. And this goes a long ways. And this is, I think you can get these for like $12 at just about any store out there. Walmart, craft stores, anywhere like that you can buy just Elmer's school glue, PVA glue. So I've laid this one out. Now I'll move this other one over into the camera view. This one's not cracked near as bad. It does have a pretty good split here and one starting on the opposite side here. So that's going to be my cut line for this blank. So I want to make this into some kind of bowl blank. It does have a split here, but I think I can maybe make that so that's the turn side out, or I can cut it later as a bowl blank. So I can got a kind of a center line. It doesn't fall right in the pith quite yet. So I'm going to have some decent bowl blanks out of this side. And I try to cut at least a half an inch from the very center. Sometimes I like a little more than that, almost an inch if I can. But it just depends on the size of your log. And being that these logs are air dried already, they're pretty stable. The last ones I measured, they were at between 12 and 13% moisture. So that's how I'm going to cut this one because I want to make bowl blanks. You turn it into finial blanks or it'll get turned into a pen blank or something, maybe small box blank, whatever I think I can get out of it after I cut the pith out of it. Some people
what kind of wood is
make
it?
bowls out of it, which you could use.
What kind of wood is it?
What's that?
Is that sycamore?
This is cherry.
Right on.
It's cherry.
Okay.
This piece is cherry. That last piece, well, actually, these were one when I. This was a big, long 4-foot log, and I got 3 or 4 14-inch blanks out of it. So that's how I'm going to cut that.
Then there's
any questions?
Yeah.
Why I'm doing what I'm doing? I'm trying to get rid of this here. So I'll cut this. I'll cut this here, and I'll probably cut it here just to get rid of that pith, and that'll go in the bin for a friend of mine who smokes salmon. He'll take this and uses it, grind it up, and put it in a smoker. So technically, it's not going to go to waste. So that's how that works. Now I'm going to switch cameras over to the bandsaw. I got to take my glasses off so I can read it. I think it's this one. There we go. So we'll take these and cut these eventually here in a minute. So this is my bandsaw sled. This is a bar clamp that you can buy at Harbor Freight or wherever you want, Amazon. This is just some old 3/4 inch plywood. I've laid a grid out on, drilled some holes in it so this bar can be raised up and down. It has, pop it out of here, turn it sideways. So you can slide this in and out, and it has adjustable. It has 3 adjustments for different size logs. If you got a real high log, you'll kind of want to cut it in the middle, clamp it in the middle. Just depends on what your log size is, and that's like so. My T-slot actually is a T-slot on my table saw or on my bandsaw. So I have a washer on the bottom of this, so when I put my log in there, hopefully it doesn't flip off. So I try to keep that located in there like that. See if I can get it down there. So there's a washer here that keeps this from popping out of here. And see it's connected. Now I'll put that log in there for you. Raise it up a little. So that you can see that this edge of this fence heat to your miter slot in your bandsaw. So the first thing I'm going to do is slab this edge off. And what I do is I get that somewhat close. I'll clamp this in here. This is just a simple bar clamp. Like it's make sure when you get the bar clamp so that you can lock a bolt in it, because you need to lock the bolt in it from the back. Gotta have a rolled edge. Yeah, I got that locked in there. Now I'm gonna come along and I'm just gonna visually set that line to the edge of the board. Slide it ahead a little. Oh, look at that. We got it pretty close on the first try. So I'm trying to make the blade parallel with my line. So I'll lock the front swing nut. This crack I'm going to lock. Now I'm going to take a measurement from my fence to my blade, which is about 9 1/16. I want to try to make this slab flat so that it comes out flat, square to the face. And actually, gotta measure those two. We'll see about how much extra I got here.
Quick question. How does
Yeah,
your
it's, 1.25 inches.
parallel clamp attach to your backboard there?
Ask
It's
again.
got two bolts here. It's got two, so there's a bolt in here, and it goes through, and there's a threaded knob on the back. Right. Can't see it very well. There's a
Thanks.
threaded
Yeah, I see it now. That's
knob
good.
back here. That's how it clamps the bar. And you can adjust this bar accordingly depending on how big a log you have on here. That's why I have the 3 holes in here. The other thing I try to do too is try to measure that log to see how uniform it is. This one's roughly 8 inches on this end. And it's pretty close to 8 inches on the other end. Within 1/8 of an inch. So I just try not to sliver this off too thin. So you can measure from the base of the base here at the back. You got 2 3/4 inches to the edge of the log to the base. I got about 2 inches there, which I can see I'm not quite. I have a little gap in here, right here, so I can loosen this up and cant this log over just a little. So I have 2 inches on the back side. Now this log is somewhat parallel to the table, face to face. It's not real critical, but it's just, if you're gonna make boards and you don't want to get your boards, if you were gonna saw this for lumber, if you were gonna make something lumberish, box or whatever, and you want your boards to be uniform thickness, you gotta cut them the same on both ends. That's why I try to start out that way. I do it. It's just habit, the way I do it. The other thing you can do is you can measure from here to the edge of here on the front and back. If you got a log that's real cockeyed and you want to make one side flat and you don't care what this piece is going to be on this first cut. Now I'm going to back it up. I'm going to put my safety glasses on. Always wait for your blade to stop. I don't have a foot brake on this machine. That's one of the things I wish it had, but it doesn't now. So I just wait for the blade to come to a full stop. And we slabbed off our first piece. There's 10 blanks in that piece. So there'll be 10 blanks to make out of that piece later. Now I'm just going to loosen these back screws up. Now I have one face that I consider parallel. And I want to cut my blocks out of here now. Okay. Now I'm going to measure from here to here. And I'll set the back accordingly because this face now is parallel to this edge. As long as I don't loosen the bar clamp up. So I got roughly 6 1/16. I don't know if my arm's in the way. But yeah, 6 1/8. I'll set this other side at 6 1/8. We'll just back it up and do it again.
Look at that, he even cut straight.
Yeah. It should be fairly flat and straight. You got your bandsaw tool, you shouldn't have any crown in it. You got a good sharp blade. This is a really good sharp blade. This is a timber blade, timber wolf blade. And you can see it cuts pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. Close enough you can fix it with a hand plane and still have your dimensions. And you can see that my dimensions here are pretty much the same on both ends. Pretty close anyway. So now it's safe to use your rip fence. If you want to use your rip fence to cut up the rest of it. This one piece that I'm going to leave for bowls, I'll just leave it just like it is and cut my bowl out of it. Well, I could leave it just like it is, but maybe I'll take this and rip this one more time just to get the pith out of it while I got it here. Otherwise, I can do it on the processor up with the fence too. So maybe I'll show you that way how I would process this off the fence by taking it out like I just did. And I want to process it now. Now you have a flat face. You want to process that heart out of the center. So now all I got to do is take this off. And if I'm going to process this the rest of the way, we'll just bring this over. And cut off just as much as I need to on one face. It doesn't take much. Now you have a flat surface to ride on. So now I can take this and cut that out safely. I can resaw this safely without it tipping over. So I have a flat face on the table, a flat face on against the fence, and I'm pushing against the fence so that it can't tip back this way.
Plenty of room to keep the fingers out of the way.
I have a push set. And by prepping that, the first cut that I made, you can see I got it pretty uniform from end to end. You can see the thickness here is almost the same as the thickness on this end.
Yep,
and I've gotten rid of most of that crack. It's in preparation, right? You don't want to be in a hurry when you do this. You want to prep it and cut it once and not screw it up, especially when you're using cherry because it's expensive. But you can see the nice green. This actually has a little bit of curl in it.
Yeah, that's some good looking cherry you got.
And that's probably because it's a little quarter sawn. And this will be a very stable piece once I take the center out of it. And now that I have a flat edge here, to cut the center out of this is very simple. And this will be a bowl blank.
Hey Scott, what
turn that
what
into
kind
a
of
shallow
band,
bowl.
Scott? What kind of bandsaw blade do you use?
That's a Timberwolf, 1/2 inch, 3 teeth per inch, and it's a hook tooth. That's what I use for all my resawn, and I use it. It's on this machine 90% of the time. I use it for just about everything. I can cut circles with it because it's only a 1/2 inch. The other neat trick that I've done with this push stick, I put a magnet in it so I can stick it to my machine right over my head. So when I want to reach for it, it's right there. And it's not falling on the floor in the dust and you can't find it. Now I'll just take this. I'm just going to eye this. I'm just cutting the piss out of it. This piece is kind of a waste. This piece really won't be good for much. I might get some pen blanks out of this edge at some point. If I can get this camera. There we go. So it's kind of a wasted piece. It's got a big nasty crack in it. I might get something out of this one end, out of that end. Just do the repeat just what I just did. Now this is a very stable piece of wood. The senseless quarter sawn, it's pretty stable. It isn't gonna move much, if at all. Any questions so far?
No. Brenda says she needs to get a big. Brenda says she needs to get a bigger bandsaw now.
Yeah, the size makes a difference for sure. Actually, it's really not the size so much, other than if you want high rip capability. Now, if this log wasn't very uniform and parallel sides, you can see this one's pretty parallel. I would have cut this on the sled just so that I don't have any waste. But I can see that this one side is pretty straight. Another pen blank material or finials, whatever you so choose. So you can see now that I have two pretty nice 10-foot, two nice blocks for goblets. And you'll actually get probably a goblet in a small box out of that. So if you come up to level up, here's some of the nice cherry you're going to get to do with Matt.
Thanks, Scott.
So hopefully Matt likes what he gets, right?
Hey, Scott.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, how do you compensate for the blade not cutting parallel to the miter slot?
How do I get this to cut parallel to this?
No, how do you compensate for the blade? You know, sometimes the blade, nearly every time on mine, the blade doesn't cut parallel to the slot. It cuts at an angle.
That's because you don't have the guide bearings adjusted to each other. You don't have your guide blocks adjusted to each other. So I set mine up with a straight edge. I take my table off and set mine up with a straight edge between the guide blocks to make sure that they're cutting parallel.
Yeah.
And if you put, so what I use between my ball bearings, I have ball bearing guides. I know some people have friction guides. They take $1 bill and they fold it in half. And that goes between the blade and the bearing. So down here, I put it on this side of the blade, adjust this bearing. So it's just, so I can just, there's tension on the $1 bill, so it won't fall out if I let go of it. But if I just touch it hardly, it falls out. And I do the same on this side. Then this one has a cracking bearing in the back that runs on the back of the blade. And I set that with that same $1 bill. So that it's just off that blade. So when you push back on this blade, you can see my blade doesn't come back very far.
Right.
And some of your cracking problem also can be tension. You can see on this blade, I'm pushing on it pretty hard to get it to move.
Mm-hmm. You got a lot of tension.
If you listen to Mr. Snodgrass, he'll tell you that that's got to have a 1/4 inch of movement. Well, I'm telling you, if you got a 1/4 inch of movement in there, and you want to cut veneer, you'll never cut it. It'll be thick on one end and paper thin on the other. That blade has got to be tight, consistently tight. The other thing is they tell you to take the tension off your blade. This blade has been on this machine for 8 months, 9 months. Tension's never been off of it since I put it on there.
Yeah, I don't ever take mine off either, but I'm glad to know about the blocks on the side. I have blocks, not bearings, but I need to check that.
If you can go to bearings because they're easier on the blade. The blade runs cooler, and it tends to track straighter.
Sure.
There's a lot of companies out there that make conversion kits for different types of bandsaws, whatever you have. This one came with circular carbon guides that pinched on each side. They were horrible. Because every time you would touch that carbon transferred to whatever you were resawing, and you couldn't get the black staining off. You had to run it through a planer, and even then, sometimes it would get down in the pores, and you just couldn't get rid of it. You didn't dare try to sand it, because if you sanded it, it was all over the whole surface.
I think Carter is the most well known for their kits.
Yeah, and they're well worth the money. Worth the money.
Absolutely are.
Yeah, they work really good, really good.
These are from Grizzly, because this is a Grizzly machine. Grizzly figured out that the blocks they put in were no good. You can't even buy a Grizzly anymore with carbon blocks in it. They all come with bearings now.
Scott, if someone's table is out of whack, how do they tune that?
As far as right to left, tilt-wise, or front to back?
I'm talking about cockeyed.
Cockeyed like this?
Yes.
This way?
Yeah.
That's your trunnions underneath. You have to square it to the blade. You would square it to your T slot. Then
Okay.
you would put a square. I just use a speed square because I use machinist squares for everything, but this is handy. So you would put this in here, and you would get this so that it was touching the back of the blade square, right?
Okay.
If it was cockeyed, you'd be able to see that. And then you also should check your blade this way once in a while too to see if your cable is actually parallel, which this one's pretty close. Pushing a little on the bottom of the blade, but it's pretty close.
Blade.
You know.
And then do the same thing to the back of the blade.
Yeah, you can do the same thing to the back of the blade like this. Which this one is dead on because I've used the bar. I've used the vertical bar to set these two blocks exactly perpendicular to one another or parallel to one another. And I never adjust these if I don't have to. The only time I've ever taken these out is to change the bearing. Change this bearing up in here. The only way you can change that is to take it all apart. And then you got to take the whole machine apart, you know, to get it back square again. And I don't change this one bearing anymore. I got to take it all apart. By God, all of them are getting replaced, whether they need it or not. Because it'll take you a whole day to readjust the machine after you're done, and then you got to make some test cuts with it, you know, just to make sure. So let's do one more with the sled, so everybody can see the sled one more time. I'm a kind of a quirky.
Yeah, that'll be good for the folks that came in late. So.
Yep. Make sure I get it put in the right direction, and don't skimp on the sled. Make sure you build the sled out of good heavy material. You don't want it to flex. We'll do this one more time. This one's a little longer. Take my screw off here. So I try to set this log kind of, I use the shadow of the blade here just to kind of get an idea that it's halfway straight up and down, 90 degrees to the table.
You need to reset it again.
Is it sliding? There it goes.
No, it got a little cattywampus.
Oh, it rolled. Okay. I'm gonna loosen these up and get that a little closer to the edge of the table to start with. There we go. Where you got to roll. Roll that way. Sometimes it's the log itself, like this one's really gnarly. It's way bigger on one end than the other. So I'm not going to be able to do like I did on the last one, measure from the face here to the face here. Because the diameter of it's way different on one end compared to the other. So what I'm going to do to get this first face parallel is I'm just going to measure here. I'm going to set them so they're parallel. And whatever the log comes out to be on this end, it comes out to be. So I want to cut on the outside line first. So I have that outside piece off first. Now you can see I didn't quite draw it straight. Doesn't matter. I'm going to cut it straight. I'm going to measure here. I got 7 3/4, and I'll set the back one the same distance from that edge. Because I'm looking for a flat face here, rather than I don't care if it's the same thickness all the way through, because this is a scrap side of this log. Now I have this all locked down. You can see where the ball's going to come out of this one.
Yep.
It's also the thickest part of the blank. This will be the bowl, just because it's got the 3 knots right in the part of the bowl.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to have
That'd
some
be
good
pretty.
Sometimes,
got a little face in
and
it.
you look at the outside of this. So if you look at the outside of this, I could tell there was going to be something here, but I wasn't sure what it was. See how that's bulged up?
Yep.
That's the cap over those limbs. So at some point in the life of this tree, it lost those 3 limbs, and it healed itself over and grew around them. That's why they're on the inside and not on the outside. Get it so you can see it. So sometimes you find neat stuff on the inside. You gotta look at the outside of the log and go, hey, I wonder if there's some limbs in there, or there's an inclusion, or there's a start of a burrow there because the tree was diseased or something. So that'll determine where that bole's coming from for sure. Now I'll just move it over instead of running it against and cutting the flat side on one side of it and using the fence. I can just use this jig one more time. Oops. I want to tilt this back up just a little. So now I'm going to measure to the width of the log just to see how close it is. There's a 1/2 inch difference between one end to the other. This end is a 1/2 inch narrower. So I either kick the other end out and bring this end in, or I'm just going to scooch this over on one end to take a little bit more off this end. I want that to be almost the same thickness on both ends, or as close as I can get. That's the other thing you can do with this jig. You can see that I can cut tapers with it as well. So if you wanted to make a tapered leg, you could use this jig to make a tapered leg. Mm-hmm. 4 inches to the face. It'll be pretty doggone close. What I'm doing here is I'm standing back and holding the ruler on the edge of my log here. You can see my hand in here. Holding my finger here to get it to the edge of the log, and then sighting across the log to make sure that I get a 4 inch deep bowl on this end. And I'm pretty close. I just want to make this bowl uniform to this end, so I get 2 bowls out of this one log that are 4 inches thick. in the center. There we got everything tightened. If you hear your bandsaw slow down like this one just did, it can be either you're pushing too hard or there's something on the inside of that log. You got to listen to the sound. If it's a ceramic insulator like you used to use 100 years ago to put phone lines to your house, it'll squeal really loud. And you can plan on buying a new blade because you just wrecked the blade. If it's a bolt or a screw, if it's a screw, it might cut through it. If it's any size of a leg bolt, you're gonna break that blade. It won't just squeal; it'll actually break. It'll catch on the teeth and break. So you kind of got to listen to what the saw is telling you. I was probably pushing it, speeding it a little too fast, but there's even some pretty pen blanks in there, or finial blanks, or whatever you want to make out of it.
Hey, Scott, have you ever considered using a carbide tip blade?
It's a waste of lumber. This blade takes less than a 16th of an inch curve. The smallest carbide you can get is 3/16, I believe, will be your cut. And if you're milling for veneer or trying to maximize out of small logs, you're putting sawdust on the floor needlessly. And carbide, I don't think is that great anyway. I think you get buy good high quality steel blades. Like I said, these are Timberwolf blades from Sweden, and I haven't had a bit of problem. I probably processed, well, right now I know I've done 30 goblet blanks for Matt, and I've probably done another 50 or 60 hardwood bowl blanks, and this blade is by no means dull. It might need to be touched up a little, but it's not dull. So I mean, and I have used my blades. I'm not always nice to them, as nice as I should be.
But you do talk nice, so that counts.
So this piece is tapered, but I don't care because I cared about that piece. So it's a little thicker on one end than the other, but I don't care because I wanted this to be uniform on both ends, and I'll show you that. So if you look at that on the table, other than this little bump in here where I think there's some more branches or something, it's pretty much the same height on this end as it is on that end off the table. I mean, as close as your log is, right? Mother Nature's not perfect either. But I've gotten rid of the pith. So the pith out of this log is completely gone. And it'll be pretty stable. And like I said, it's down to, I don't know, 13%. This has been in my shop a while, so it might be down farther than that now. I got my cheap moisture meter here. We'll just see what it says it is. Put this down a little. This right now is at 8% on a cheap meter. I guess you can't really see it. Well, I'll take my word for it. I'll check the straight side. Right in the middle of the log, I'm at 10%. So that log is pretty stable. That's ambient temperature, ambient moisture in my shot. right now. The other thing I do with these, if I know they got a little bit of, if they're air dried and they're a little moist, I will store them on the concrete floor. One side sealed and one side not. The side that's not sealed sits on the concrete. The concrete will slowly pull moisture out of that piece. And if I've got them cut into rounds, I'll lay the rounds on the floor. Whether they're end grain or side grain, I'll lay them on the floor and let them dry a little slower. I'll leave them on there all winter. In the spring, I'll pick them up and put them on my shelf. And they're usually down to 10%, which is pretty stable in my shop. Is around 10%. Most of your fine cabinet grade lumber is down between 8 and 6%. Well, it's pretty hard to do that without a kiln.
Scott, are you going to put in directions on how to build that on our website?
They're already there.
All right.
I've done this demo when I built the jigs for you.
I remember the previous demo. I just haven't seen the plan, so that's why I asked.
Yep, they're actually in the demo, and you pretty much got to build that jig to fit your saw, right?
Well, yeah.
Every saw is going to be different. Every width here is going to be different. From the blade to the T-track, and your vertical is going to be different. I have a 13-inch throat. If you had a higher throat, you'd want a higher back piece, you know, to do what you need to do. You want to build it sturdy. So I got a gnarly piece here, and we can discuss how we're going to cut this up. I'm going to raise this way up so you can see this. This is a pretty gnarly piece. As you can see.
Yeah, it is.
It wasn't cut very well. I think there's something going on here in this part of the log. I'll flip it over. And you can see there's something gnarly going on here. I'm going to give you a little history on this log. I got a friend that lives in Tennessee. This is shagbark hickory. And there was a burl here. When I told him to cut this, I told him to cut it so he left me a foot on each side of the burl. He thought I meant cut it off a foot each side of the burl. So he cut it off right here.
Oh, no.
So he gives me the burl, right? This end of the burl that was touching here was fantastic. 8 inches over, it was totally hollow and rotten.
Wow.
Got nothing out of it.
Just never know.
If he had cut it the way I told him to cut it, I'd have got an 8-inch bowl out of this easy. But now all I got is this little bit of figure here, which I think goes up into this. There's a lump here. I think there's a little in here. I think what I'm going to do, if you guys think it's a great idea, this core runs almost dead straight through this log. This pith. This is the pith. It's way offset because of this big burl that grew here. The tree tried to get rid of this section. So I think I'm going to try to get this in this sled and cut this side of the burl, this side of this pith, and try to take it out on the other end. What do you think?
Yep.
Would that be how you guys would cut this, or would you try to do something else with it?
No, that's the way
How
I
I'd
do it.
attack it.
Well, let's try it and see. Now you'll get to see how hard this saw works, because this is hard. Really hard. And it looks like it's a little spalted.
What,
Go ahead, Sue.
what kind of tree was it?
Shagbark hickory.
Shagbark hickory.
So we don't really care how it processes, other than the fact we want to try to get as big a bowl out of it as we can. Kind of a funky piece. You can see here, hold it, no you can't. You can see here that I kind of rolled it so that one side is a little flatter than the other, and it's a little crooked. Doesn't sit in my clamp very well. So I'm going to try to grab it with as much clamp as I can, and we'll see what we get.
Do you need to rotate that clockwise about
No, I'm
1
going to try
hour
to
or
cut it
so?
here. I'm going to try to cut it there if I can. I'm trying to get it to sit decent on this. It's not very flat or very uniform round. It doesn't want to really sit here well. And I'm going to have to constantly jig.
Put a wedge under it, Scott, then you can clamp it better.
What's that?
Use a wedge. You can clamp it better.
There, I think we got it. I'm going to slide it up here. And I'm going to get these loosened up. And this bark is so gnarly, I don't even want to slide on my table. That looks pretty good right there, but you can see that it doesn't want to stay in here very well.
Can you put a shim under it?
Yeah, put a little piece of wood underneath it.
Yeah.
Just to keep it from rolling on.
Right.
And with if you've got an angle on that end closest to you, maybe a wedge in there.
Yep.
Right.
That's what I'm going to do. I got a wedgie here that I'll put in this backside once I get it close. I'm pretty close on the front side where I want to cut it. Not really. There we go. I'll lock that one down. Now I'll put a wedge in the back so it don't roll. With these nice cherry wedges that I just cut off, we'll just play with them until we find one that fits. Just like that. I got to come over just a little to get the pith out of this side before I tighten it all the way up.
There it goes.
That's going to be close enough. I'm hoping to get 2 bowls out of this, 2 small bowls, but we'll see. Here we go. I think that'll make a pretty nice ball or a box out of this end.
Yeah, I believe so. It looks good.
And it shouldn't crack because we got rid of the pith. The other side, I don't know what I'll do with the other side.
Look at that. Got spalding.
Isn't that pretty? You never know what you're going to
Yeah,
find.
it
in
is.
a
That's
piece
real
of wood.
pretty. Wow.
So that's the sled technique. Now we're going to do a little bit of actual lathe work instead of playing on the bandsaw. And believe it or not, this piece is really wet. I can feel the moisture in it. So Well, that's been cut for over a year and it's at 34%. So I will be gluing the ends of it later tonight before I go in the house. And try to save the bark. I'm hoping to save the bark on it too. Looks like it's attached pretty well. I've never turned hickory, so.
Turns like pecan. Turns good.
So that's the sled. Has anybody got any questions before I go to the next thing?
What do you use?
That was really helpful.
Thank you. I just want to see everybody go in at night and have their fingers. Right?
Right.
Right.
No.
Safe way to hold the wood.
Safe way to hold the wood and keep your fingers out of the machine. Now we'll go back to this one. And we're going to talk about drilling blanks on the lathe. I got to move my camera. So now we're going to talk about drilling on the lathe. We had a discussion with one of the new members last week about how to drill on the lathe. So I'm going to drill from the headstock. I'm going to put my drill in the headstock, just like you would have on a drill press. I'm going to lock it in with a threaded piece of rod so it can't come out. And when you buy your drill trucks to go in the lathe, make sure that you look it up and make sure that they say they're threaded on the end, because they're not all threaded. So we're going to talk about drilling safely without losing your fingers or wrecking your tailstock or your headstock. Today I set this lathe up and I made sure it was parallel. So everything was lined up center to center. I use points rather than what Matthias used. He had an actual alignment bar which you can buy. I just use the points of two spur centers that I don't use for anything but alignment. They don't get used because I don't want to bend that very tip out here. I want it to be true. As true as it was from the factory anyway. So we're going to talk about drilling. Everybody knows how to lay out a blank for drilling. I got this one laid out for drilling. Mark on each end. This one happens to have a divot already in this end. It's in the center. So I'm just going to bring this up. I'm going to use my flat bar tool rest here as a support. I'm going to adjust this. I'm going to put it between the center of the drill and the center point on my tailstock. Like this. Now the one thing, if you don't have a flat bar tool rest like this, you can use your regular tool rest. What I'm going to do is keep this from spinning and smashing my fingers. I'm going to try to get this as level as I can. I know this tool rest is level. I checked it. If you really want to go crazy, you can, if you know your blank is cut fairly flat, you can put a level on it to make sure that it's level, somewhat close to being level with the right height. I don't quite go that nuts. What's the rule of thumb, Dane? Where'd you go?
If your turning needs a hole when it comes off the lathe, your turning needs the hole before it goes on.
Right. So there's two ways to doing this. Either one of them is fine. You can either crank in, hold this with your hand now, and crank in with your, because it's captured between centers. You can crank in with your handle. Or
can you back up the camera? Scott, can you raise the camera up? You're a little zoomed in too tight.
How's that? So here's my tailstock.
There we go.
Drills in my
That'll
headstock.
work.
You know what? My new eyes are so great because I have to take my glasses off to see the TV screen that I'm watching you guys on. So, I've learned a new way of doing this, which is right or wrong. I used to do it by cranking it in with the tailstock. I've learned from a machinist friend of mine that if you just hold it between centers and push your tailstock, don't crank on your handle, it'll save the threads in your tailstock a little bit. That's a lot of pressure on threads that weren't designed to be screwed in under pressure. They're designed to hold pressure but not to be screwed against pressure, right? They're not tapered the right way to do that, and they're not thick enough. So they recommend when you're drilling, now I got this on a nice flat surface, I can loosen up my tailstock slightly, just enough so it'll slide. You're going to keep your hand on that lever, and you're going to push it in. I haven't perfected that yet, but you can do it that way. I'm going to screw it in with the tailstock. You're going to drill slow. You can see I don't have quite enough up pressure. So I'm drilling, this is a piece of ash, green ash. I'm drilling about 350.
Is there an advantage to doing it this way instead of mounting the wood to the headstock and putting the bit in the tailstock?
What was that question? Hang on. What was your question?
Is there an advantage to this versus reversing it with the wood in the headstock and the bit mounted in the tailstock?
Yes. I'm gonna get a truer hole by the way I'm doing it. If you put the drill's not spinning in the headstock, you build a lot of heat. And it doesn't run on a twist drill, it won't run straight, or it tends not to run straight. You're gonna get a straighter hole the way I'm doing it.
Why not use a Forstner bit?
Because this particular, what I'm going to make with this, I'm going to show you here in a minute. This is going to be a tool handle. And the Forstner bit, I don't have a Forstner bit that'll drill the way I want it to drill, close enough tolerance to drill the way I want to drill for what I'm making. And it's a lot better on your machine if you drill from. Your drills are meant to spin, not be stationary. That's how they cool themselves. Even a Forstner bit really should be drilled on a headstock end, but on a lathe, that's not really a safe practice if you're going to drill into like a big vessel or a vase, unless you drill it first when it's still square, which could be done. If you're going to put like a glass cylinder in a vase, drill your hole first. Then you're going to turn between centers. You're going to ride the hole on a cone center and turn between centers, and then your hole will be perpendicular to the walls of your vase, or vessel.
Yep. Scott, excuse me, I'm a little bit confused. How are you keeping your hole that you're drilling perfectly centered down the piece of that wood?
Because I'm cranking it in with my tailstock, pushing here this way.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
And I got my flat bar tool rest in here. It is now as long as this piece isn't tapered, right? Doesn't have a crown in it or a weird shape to it, it's going to drill centered.
Okay, gotcha.
And it isn't, if you're making tool handles, for instance, like what I'm going to do here, it doesn't matter because I'm putting a hole in first. When I turn this, I'm going to turn it between centers with a cone center on the other end. I'm going to put the hole on the cone center. I'm going to put a safety drive on the other end. And I'm going to turn that whole handle between centers.
Gotcha.
And it'll be registered always to the center of the blank, right? Or the
Yep.
center of the hole, actually.
Yep.
So
Gotcha.
let me finish drilling this. If you can hear that sound, I don't know, it's canceling out. But that's, if you start to hear a high-pitched squeal, you're going too fast. I think I got that just deep enough, I guess. Nope, not quite. I gotta be, hang on a second, I gotta get my micrometer. So everybody knows this trick too, right? With the micrometer. You want to check the depth of a hole with a micrometer. Set it on the edge of the hole, open it up, and that little tail out there. And then you look at the thing, it's 1.25 inches deep. I need to cut it just a little more, about 1/8 of an inch more. I'm gonna slide this on the bit. You had the smooth side of this up. You want to make sure you put it back on the same way you took it off. Otherwise, you could get a crooked hole if your blank isn't perfect. I'm just going to turn this up real slow. I got that buried in there. And there's what happens if you don't slide it back at the same time. And that's where this rest will save you. Because it gives you a chance to get your hand out of the way. Perfect. Now that'll fit in there.
Yep.
And then I'll just turn my handle to make it fit. Make it fit in there. For some reason, this thing's a little big. And it is. That's how you drill that kind of blank. Now the tool handle that I really want to make, I had an issue with it. It cracked before I got it done. Got a hole started in it. It's a little smaller hole, so I'm going to change this and show you how to drill a round blank. Because the round blank is going to spin on that platform, it isn't going to sit there. It's a different drill. So now I got to drill this, and this is already round, so it's not going to work too good on that flat bar tool rest. So I just made a V jig for it. Okay, just a block of wood cut with 245 cut in it. I'm going to center that up. Between centers. Get that out of my way. Now I've slid my tool rest back a little bit, so kind of in the center of this handle. I'll just bring the V block up now. Support that round piece. Very carefully drill this in. Now I'm going to put down pressure with this hand just to make sure that it doesn't pop loose. You can see it's bouncing a little bit. I'm just going to slide it in that V block and let it slide under my hand. Now I just set the gauge on my tailstock, an index for it, and I'm going to measure this and get it right on so I know how far to go without having to take it back out of there again. And it's got to be a little over an inch and a half, about 9/16. So I'm going to bring this forward just a little bit, just to give it a little better support out on the end because I'm getting close. If I did this real often, it would make a clamping system, so it would clamp this in this V block rather than trying to hold it with my hand and adjust things. It would just make life a little simpler. All right, got that tightened up. That tightened up. Turn this on real slow and hold it. Back up tool rest out of the way. Turn this off by hand. Now you can see this will fit in here just like it's supposed to, and it's snug. This is a new style tool handle. Hopefully it'll be out soon. Dane and I and another person from the club are working on these, trying to get somebody to manufacture them for us at a reasonable price here in the States. You can buy them in Europe, but you can't get them here. And the tariffs would kill us to have it made over there and brought over here. So this is essentially a ferrule and a inside ferrule. So as the wood contracts, when it dries, it squeezes against this piece. When it expands, it squeezes against the outside, and this is a pressure. Everything here will be a pressure fit. When I put that on, it'll be driven on, and it won't ever come off. You'll wreck this ferrule trying to get it off. And it's good all the way up to 5/8 of an inch. It'll take a 5/8 bar. Oh, I know what I wanted to do before I take this apart. We talked about this too, Dane and I. So if you got a piece of wood that you want to make into a handle, you want to switch over to this other camera. Switch over back to the first camera. Come on. Oops. This one. If you look at this piece of wood I got laying on the bandsaw, you got to watch how you drill things, because you'll get them crooked. You notice this piece of wood has a big bow in it. You wouldn't want to put that against the tool rest and drill it. You'd want to lay it like this and drill this way. Okay? So when you're laying out your blocks to drill them, make sure they don't have a kink in them. You know, this one, for whatever reason, it's got a really bad kink in the bottom, and you can see it there. So when you're making tool handles, you can make them out of some pretty gnarly stuff, but you just got to look at how you're going to drill them. Okay? That's another reason you drill it first, and you know you can get it in there. You want to see how I finished that tenon on that one, or are you guys bored to death already?
No, go ahead, hook it up.
Okay, it'll take me a minute.
Turn the tenon, please.
You want to see how I do that tenon to get it in there?
Yes, please.
Yeah, you got to swap your camera though.
Yep, we're doing it. Maybe I'll go to the overhead one. This one's not as nice a camera, but it's right overhead.
There we go.
It's a little blurrier. It's a cheaper camera. I got it for free, so I can't complain. And by the way, I'm doing this all through Zoom. I have 3 cameras hooked up to a hub, and I'm just switching back and forth from camera to camera. You don't need any fancy program like OBS or Streamlab or whatever else everybody else is using. I figured out how to do it right through Zoom. And if you're asking what this little Teflon washer is, that's what keeps my truck from locking onto my headstock. You'll never have it lock on. You use a piece of copper washer, a real copper washer, or a piece of Teflon washer. Now I'm going to put that in there. I'll get this out of the way. This off of here. I give Billy credit for this tool rest. He showed how to make these. Give him a lot of credit. Enjoy the heck out of this one. And have no money in it. The top rod is an old Penn mandrel. And the bottom is a piece of bed spring or bed frame. And just so if people didn't know, bed frame, when you see them laying on the side of the road, that's hardened steel. It's as good as tool steel. And it works great for making tool rest and other things if you want something strong. suppose I should talk about what I had in tail stack too. But when I was drilling, I had this in the tail stack. This is a dead center, and you can use it in your head stack too. If you're turning metal, you want to use a dead center, or even sometimes if you want to turn like pens, I use this for turning pens to capture the pens between the dead center. Put the bushings on here, put a bushing on a live center, and now I don't have to use a pen mandrel, and they're straight.
That's what I use.
Everything is lined up correctly. You should check your lathe periodically. Today I did have to adjust this one slightly. So now I want to measure the depth of this hole. And I got another handy ruler for that. Because my mic won't work because of the way it's designed. I can show you guys this too. So this is a depth bore finder depth gauge.
3 feet 6 inches.
There we are. It's got a ruler captured in the T block. I'm gonna set this to the depth of the little shoulder that goes in there. It goes in here like this. That's tight. Just slide it in, lock the knob, read it. This one's about 19/16 or 15 mil, roughly. So we'll put this between centers. I already have the center hole on this end for pushing it on. Like I said, I started turning this before and I didn't like what happened to the handle. It cracked. Now I'm going to come down here. I know this end is square already because I used that same jig. This same jig to cut this in my miter saw to cut that end off that was cracked. So these sides are parallel to the joint that's in here. So I can just cut it off and I know that it has a square face. Okay.
3, 3, 6.
We're gonna lock that down. Tighten this up. Try to get this parallel. I know this is pretty uniform in shape. I purposely did that before I took it off after it was cracked. And I'm going to use a square carbide cutter. You can use your tool of choice, but that's what I'm going to use. And I got to find my goggles. Where's this put my goggles?
Are these no try goggles?
3 feet.
What's that?
6 inches.
Are these going to be the
Yeah,
no
my no
try
tries.
goggles?
Where did I set them down?
Uh-oh.
Put them somewhere now. I don't
You're going to
see
be
'em.
crying if you can't find them.
Yeah.
Probably by the bandsaw.
No, they're not actually.
They're
That's
over
where I thought
there.
they were too. I took them off at when they were getting sweaty. Where did I put them? Anybody else have that trouble?
Check the top of your head, maybe?
No.
50%,
Yeah. Hey.
50% of
Somebody's smarter than me.
woodworking is finding the tool that you just put down.
Yes, because I never put it back where it belongs.
You got multiple
Brenda?
flat spots in your shop, that's where it's gonna be.
Yep.
I'm
And I
standing
don't
tall
mind
and
that
looking for 'em.
I'm trying not to scratch them, so I'm trying not to set them down somewhere where I can drop or scratch something on them, so the top of my head works good. So I got everything.
I remember when I was in Brenda's shop and I'd set something down, and 2 seconds later I'd go to pick it back up and it disappeared.
There you go.
See, the problem
And
with
I would
all
get
that stuff,
so frustrated.
the
I would
problem
get
with that
so
stuff
frustrated.
this problem
Yeah.
with some of that stuff is it grows legs and walks off.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
for sure.
Never find it where I put it.
Never.
My wife says the ghost of her late son takes things.
There you
There's
go.
things in our house disappear all the time.
My problem is I'll put something in a safe place and then I can't remember where the hell the safe place was.
4 feet, one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm gonna put it.
I put it there
that way
so
I
I
don't lose it.
remember where it is, right?
Exactly.
So this is a mid-sized roughing tool from Easywood. Actually, one I made. I just bought the cutter. And it just so happens it's the same size as the tenon that's inside of there. Or real close to it, anyway. Now I'm going to spin this up. I watched Carl Jacobson the other day, and he's no longer pushing these in and scraping with them like Easywood tells you. He's actually riding the bevel, and you get almost a shearing cut with it, which I thought was a pretty cool find on his part. Made a nice finish. I'm gonna turn this up to about, I don't know, we'll try around 1200. I'm just gonna come in here, and I'm just gonna work this back. And I know this because I've done enough of these sparrows now. I know how they are. They're 1 inch. I mean, the outside of it has to be 1 inch to slide in there. So I'm going to set my calipers to 1 inch. All right. Okay, that's 1 inch. I'm just going to double check to make sure that it's close. It's pretty close. And I'll stop short and just keep trying it real close, a little at a time until I get it to where I want it. Now's where you come and play with it. You just keep working it till it starts to slip on. The other thing you can do is you can twist it on there a little bit. And sometimes you can see a little ring on there to tell you how much more you got to go. Now you're gonna sneak up on this. You don't want to go crazy because you want that to be a drive on fit. And I know I'm pretty close. Another couple thousand. They all fall asleep on me, Dane? They're so quiet.
No, everybody's enthralled with what you're doing. Everybody's blown because they got two different demos.
Move that one and a
This is just trial and error. Just keep going until you just gotta sneak up on it. Now, if you did this without the hole in it, you could possibly get this off-centered by the time you get it to where you want it, right? You can see how tight it gets when it starts to go on. I know I got to take a little more off the back.
Scott, did you say
You
that?
can see by driving that on there, I created a little burr. Now, if I don't cut this side of the burr towards the end, if I just take this off now until that burr disappears, it's going to be pretty doggone close.
Scott, did you say that tenon needed to be exactly 1 inch?
The tenon depth, the outside of the tenon has to be around 1 inch, and the depth is 9/16.
Well, I was thinking if it needs to be exactly 1 inch, couldn't you just take a 1 inch open face wrench and sharpen it and use it to make the tenon?
Absolutely. Absolutely, you could.
Then you wouldn't have to do all this fussing.
But I want this super duper tight. I don't want to have to drive that on. I'm not going to use any glue with this particular system because it shouldn't be needed if you practice your tightening up skills. Too much bounce in my lathe. And there you go. It's now on there. Now the rest of the turning. Now the rest of the turning. And before I forget to do this, if you ever buy any of these after we start making them, make sure you take the set screw out before you finish turning it, because it will loosen up and come out. And I guarantee you won't find it on the shop floor.
And you don't want to find it in your face shield or your head if you're just wearing safety goggles.
Right. So now I'll finish turning this handle like this. I'll just finish it. It's driven on there. That ain't coming off of there. And I'll just finish the handle from here. You can see it's just a little crooked. The other thing you can do is press it on a little bit with the lathe. And now I'm going to true it up. And being that this is aluminum, if you hit it with your carbide tool or your regular tools, it ain't going to hurt anything. And I'm going to switch tool rest, because I'll be here all day doing it with that short one. Yeah. There's a reason why I went down to the butt end and started there, is because you look at my tool rack on the wall, I want to get the butt end so it goes in that pipe first before I start finishing the top end. I want to make sure it's going to slide in there, which this one does. So now I can just keep working it down to the fattest diameter. There you go. Down to the fattest diameter. And I know it'll go in there and sit in there and not fall all the way through. So I'll make a little bump on the top end, keep it from falling all the way through. So I think that's good, Dane.
All righty.
They don't need to see me make a whole tool handle. Other than I can talk about that tool handle if you want. I can talk about how it works.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about how to handle pull one of your one that you've already made before.
Yep, here's one I made before. It's the same, all the same system. So it has these little collets that go in here. Now I can put a 5/8 bar in. That's a 10 mil bar or 3/8 bar. Then I have another collet that fits a 1/2 inch tool. This you don't have to take this out all the time. It's got that hole in there for a reason. You line it up with the set screw. If you primarily use 1/2 inch tools or 3/8 tools, you set that in there. Don't drop the wrench. The set screw is just long enough that you can capture that collet, but yet still get your tool in there. Find one with a 3/8 tool.
Good night, Mark.
So here's a 3/8 D-way tool. Just slip it in. Where I got a mark on it somewhere where I like it to be. And I usually line the flute up with the set screw just for personal preference. And there you go, that quick I can change the bar. We have several of these handles. You can go back and forth. This is prototype number 1. We made them without the collet. And then we thought, that's crazy. It'd be better if it had a collet system. So hopefully we'll have these in production sometime next year. That's the goal. And they were originally designed by one of the guys in the club, ArcSys Club. And I worked with them, Dane's worked with them, and we came up with some modified systems.
Wouldn't be somebody across the pond, would it?
Oh, it could be. Could be. They're in Europe, put it that way.
Yeah, I've seen them advertised in Europe. I thought it was a good system. I'm glad you
It is
guys.
a great system because you don't have to worry about expansion and contraction, right? So most of the ones you see made in the U.S. just have a tube in them, like this one. This is one of the first ones, prototype. They have some kind of tube like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, they just have a shoulder that just sits on. So if you get a nasty catch, what's this going to do inside your handle? It's going to work like a lever and try to bust that out of there. Because there's no ferrule.
Lever it and split it.
It's going to split it. It's not held together. This is how captured your wood. It can't split. It can't break out like this. You know, it can't do this in there. You know, because it's captured by that tenon that comes out and is actually a ferrule. This is called a captured ferrule. And they use it in other industries. And it's a great idea for handles. They're a lot safer. And you don't have to worry about the expansion and contraction of the wood as your seasons changes, or like for Sandy's case, she goes from Seattle where it's really moist and damp to Arizona, and now your ferrule's loosened up and your tool's loosened up, and pretty soon they're on the floor. You build a traditional tool. So this way you don't have to worry about that. I have not had one of these come loose. I have tried to take this one out of this cherry handle. I don't know if you can see it, but I did mar it up trying to get it out of here.
Evidently you didn't get it out.
I didn't get it out. No, it didn't come out. And that's been in there probably a couple years. And it hasn't come out.
Wow.
And it hasn't loosened up either. Well, you've seen how hard it was to drive this one in.
Yeah.
You know, and then you just turn down to it. If you get a little below, like this one, I'm a little below, I'll just taper the aluminum down to make it matte. It'll be a little custom. And then I'll sand it all out anyway. So there you go. That's my demo. Hope you enjoyed it.
Great demo.
It was an amazing demo.
Excellent demo.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I did
Boy,
too.
a lot of information from Scott.
It certainly was.
Awesome demo.
Absolutely great.
Believe me, Scott. My saw is about 8-9 feet away from me, and I was checking my blades. I was doing this. I was looking at my bearings. It's like, believe me, it was a pretty interesting evening. Thanks, man.
Yep.
Very good.
And some of this we'll discuss again at Level Up, because we're going to have bandsaw tune-up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I that's one of my weak points is the band. I'm not using it. I can use it. I'm not very good at servicing it though.
Bandsaws need to be serviced. You got to remember, you get your fingers in them. You're not going to get your finger back. You know, a table saw, sometimes you can recover your fingers, not on a bandsaw.
Not on a bandsaw. Yeah.
It tears rather than cuts like a carbide tooth on a table saw.
Yeah. Like I said, my short suit is the maintenance that I need to do. So I have to get the book at the time and read, and okay, I can do this. Okay, I can do that. You know. So.
And anybody that wants to call and ask questions, I am not an expert. Don't claim to be an expert, but I was.
Cheers.
learn from a master. So
There you go.
that's
Well,
how I
you-
learned to keep my fingers.
I think you're about as close as an expert that I know.
Some of this,
bring him up, but some of the stuff he does it just makes me want to shake my head sometimes. And he should know better. He's been doing it a long, long time. He should know better. Not saying everything he does is bad, but just be wary. Think about what he's doing. Think about how it affects you, and I'd hate to see one of you guys lose your fingers.
Me too.
Your microphone's not picking you up very good. You're muffled, Scott.
Yeah, I got off my headphones, so now I'm talking on my camera unit.
Oh, okay.
Have you guys ever heard of Sam Maloof?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, he cut a couple of fingers off on the bandsaw, but not when he was, you know, he would carve things on the bandsaw. He did everything you weren't supposed to.
Yep.
But he cut his fingers while he was cleaning up.
Oh yeah.
So you know, folks, just be careful.
Oh yeah.
He
Yeah,
did
they're razor sharp.
a lot of stuff. I mean, that was his livelihood. And but yeah, when he was cleaning up one day, he cut off a couple of fingers.
Unplug your machine.
It will
Yeah.
probably do when I was 15 years old. It happened.
Well, very good.
Okay.
Fantastic demo you did tonight, Scott. Fantastic.
Thank
So
you.
we're at top of the hour. So we got a lot of we have a lot of gallery. We will hold those folks over till next week. So make sure you know if you're still here and you had gallery items, make sure you're at least on during the beginning of the program, top of the hour, 1800 Central Standard Time, 1900 Eastern, and we will get you guys first for your gallery next week. And so with that, yeah, there's 4 folks. Say it again, Matt.
Yep, that's right. 4 folks still on the gallery list, and we will keep the list active for next week. And thank you for your patience. You know, the demo went longer than we expected, I guess. So